Now, the 49ers, they moved on from Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Jimmy G gone from the team. Jimmy G had 11 starts last season, or played in 11 games, 7-3 record. I mean, think about Jimmy Garoppolo was pretty decent last year. He wasn't bad. 67% completions, only 11 starts, and then but the 49ers, who they go through these changes at quarterback, they gave the kid Brock Purdy a shot, and Purdy looking pretty good. And this is right after they had drafted Trey Lance, right? People thought Trey Lance was going to be the future of the franchise, but instead Brock Purdy came in and took the reins. Brock Purdy took over as the 49er quarterback and not looked back, folks. Has not looked back. 5-0. He hasn't lost a game yet as an NFL starter. So you knew coming into the new season, the 49ers are going to say, hey, man, this guy hasn't lost a game in the regular season. Of course, he lost the playoffs. But he hasn't lost a regular season game. 5-0, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, 67% completion. In 9 games, 5-0, right? So 1,300 yards passing in very 5 starts. The guy, is he going to be a franchise quarterback? Is he the next man up? Well, the 49ers seem to think so. But I'm here to tell you guys this, and I'm not trying to hate on the 49ers. And it's really interesting because it was announced that Sam Darnold is now the backup quarterback, which puts Trey Lance not the backup, but now he's the third string, and they might have to trade him. Now, remember, the 49ers gave up a king's ransom to move up to draft Trey Lance. And despite Trey Lance not really producing or even showing that he can be an NFL quarterback, the last 2 years, the 49ers have been 13-4, lost in the NFC title game. For the last 2 years, they have been in the NFC title game. So they have been in the NFC. They have been at least to the NFC championship 3 of the last 4 years. That's pretty impressive for a team that gave up the future for a quarterback that they might end up trading because he can't cut it. Right? And all of this is due to the greatness of their defense last year. They had the best defense statistically in football. They were a top 5 offense. Defense led by Nick Bosa, right? Or no Nick Bosa. The offense is still solid. They still got Greg Kittle. They got Deebo Samuel, who also was going to be traded at one point, but I guess not. These are still pretty good weapons for Brock Purdy, who will get a full season. And we can't forget about the trade that they made when they brought in Christian McCaffrey, who looks like who's the best running back in football when healthy. That's just a fact. So offensively, they still look really good. Defensively, they're going to be pretty good as well. But here's the problem. Brock Purdy is a fluke. Sorry to say it, guys. They're going to regret letting Jimmy Garoppolo go. And I know this is hard to stomach because Jimmy Garoppolo is a guy who really can't stay healthy. But when he's on the field, he seems to know how to win games. At least in the regular season, right? Now, Brock Purdy, 5-0, looks good. Very small sample size, and he got it done in the playoffs up until the NFC title game where they lost. But I'm here to tell you that Brock Purdy, a full season, I just don't think he is as good as Jimmy G. And depending on how bad Purdy plays, you might see Sam Darnold at some point. Now, Sam Darnold, former top pick, first round pick, guy was supposed to be the future of the Jets. Didn't really turn out that way. But I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. I'm just not sold. 5-0 is impressive, pretty good start for a quarterback. But me personally, I'm not sold. And I don't think it's going to translate to a bunch of wins this year. I think the 49ers are going to struggle. They're going to lose a lot of close games. That's the best way I could put it, because I'm trying to respect their defense. I like Nick Bosa. I think he's a stud. I'm trying to respect the pieces that they have, but I think they're going to lose a lot of close games. And that's how I look at it. I think the 49ers are going to be in a bunch of close games, and they're going to lose a bunch of these close games because of the inexperienced quarterback. And Sam Darnold's he's not really any better. If he was really as great as he was, he would have came here and won the job outright. The fact that he didn't tells me that he's not that good either. And even if they made a move and bench Purdy because he struggled, Darnold wouldn't really be any better, or that much better. So what that tells me, and then of course Trey Lance, who obviously is not good at all, or at least right now, is down to third string. He may not even be on the roster when it comes to at some point in the season if they can unload him. But sorry guys, the Purdy show is not going to last long. It's a nice Cinderella story, but it's a fluke. They're going to regret getting rid of Jimmy G. That's how I look at it. So let's get to the schedule. Schedule. Week 1 at Pittsburgh. That's going to be a loss. Purdy's going to go up to Pittsburgh. He's going to get beat. That's going to be Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Early game for San Francisco at Pittsburgh. The yellow ugly towels are going to be loud and crazy. And that's going to be a loss for Purdy. His first NFL season loss will happen in Pittsburgh. Week 2, they head out to LA and they will lose that game. So now Purdy has lost 2 in a row. What's going on with Purdy? Is he really that good? They're going to lose to Pittsburgh and LA back-to-back to start the season. And week 3, they're going to host their home opener against the New York Giants. This is going to be their first home opener. Purdy will win that game. So that would be a win for San Francisco. Week 4 will be also hosting the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to lose that game. Week 5, they host Jerry's Cowgirls. Sunday Night Football, Brock Purdy versus Dak Prescott. Now remember what happened last year, right? Remember last season, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have to go back and look real quick. The 49ers beat the Cowgirls in the divisional round. So Dak Prescott and the Cowgirls are not going to be happy. They're going to be coming looking for blood. But it won't mean much because the 49ers will beat the Cowgirls in week 5 to go to 2-2 on the season. It'll be a close game, but the Cowgirls will lose. Week 6 at Cleveland. 49ers are going to lose that. Deshaun Watson will put up a big game there and propel Cleveland to victory. Week 7 at Minnesota. Kirk Cousins hosting Purdy and the 49ers. And Minnesota will win. This is going to be a Monday night game, prime time, 8:30. Bright lights. Minnesota falls. Week 8 at home to Cincinnati. They're going to be hosting Joe Smooth Burrow, Chase, all kinds. Jamal Chase and the boys are coming to town, and they're going to destroy the 49ers. They're going to put a 50 spot on them. The beatdown going to be so bad, the fans are going to be calling for Sam Darnold by halftime. Bye week. They reevaluate. 49ers come out. Shanahan, Kyle says, we're confident in Brock Purdy. We're not going to make a change at this time. Blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. Maybe Trey Lance is traded already. Maybe they get ready to move him, or he's still on the roster. Maybe, I don't know. I think he's going to be traded by then. Who knows where he ends up? Maybe he gets traded. Week 10 at Jacksonville. They got to go out and see Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, the red hot Jaguars. They're going to lose that game. We ain't messing with Trevor Lawrence. Sorry, Brock. It ain't happening. Week 11, they come back home to host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they will win that game before losing the next 2 weeks on the road. They go out to Seattle, lose to the Sea Chickens, and then they got to fly across country and see the Philadelphia Eagles, where they will lose that. So things are not looking too good for the 49ers right now. Playoff hopes are in jeopardy. Week 14. At home against the Sea Chickens. After just losing to them 2 weeks ago, they beat them at home. And then the end of the season, the last 4 weeks are not good. These last 4 games will pretty much take the 49ers out of playoff contention, as they will lose at Arizona to get swept for the season series, losing at home to Baltimore, and then a terrible loss at home to Baltimore, and another terrible loss on the road at Washington, and before closing out the season, beating the LA Rams at home to finish the season 6-11. So this will be a 6-11 team, right, for the 49ers. This would be the worst record for the 49ers since 2020, when they went 6-10, and they will be at the bottom of the division. Bottom of the division for the 49ers. And who knows, is Brock Purdy still an NFL starting quarterback at this point? Or was he benched for Sam Darnold? We'll have to find out. But as good as the offensive pieces are on the 49ers team, and the defense, which would be pretty solid, I just don't think that Brock Purdy is the real deal. I don't see it. Now, I could be proven wrong, right? As I always say, this is the bottom for the 49ers, 6-11, right? What could be the better case scenario? Okay, let's just go over the schedule and see where we can find some wins. At home against Arizona could definitely be a win, so we give them another one, right? They could definitely possibly go out to Cleveland if they're playing well enough to beat Cleveland. So we got 2. Could they also win at home against Baltimore in Week 16? Now, this is barring that they're playing well enough throughout the year. And so there's 4 games here that could flip. So 4 games flip, guess what? They're division champs, right? Because we have the LA Rams winning the division at 9 games. So if 4 games go the 49ers way, that means the week 18 showdown against the Rams will be on for the division, and we have the 49ers beating the Rams, which would give the 49ers the division. So yeah, is it possible that this is more like a 10-win team? Maybe, but we got them 6-11 because that's what we predicted. But yeah, there are about 4 games here that can flip another way, right? Especially if you're a 49er fan, you're looking at this and you're probably thinking I'm a complete idiot. And hey, you may be right. So let's just come down to the middle here. Let's just safe to say that the 49ers will probably win 8 games. Okay, I'll give you 8. But my prediction, I'm sticking to it because that's what we do here. 6-11 for the San Francisco 49ers, and they will not make the playoffs.